Welcome to Tete-a-Tete, a head-to-head conversation about how to get more bang for your buck when utilizing flower bulbs in your garden landscape. And now, celebrating their 125th year as a family business, here are your hosts, Brent and Jay Hutchins.
Well, hey there, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tete-a-Tete. Today's date is Monday, October the 13th, 2025, and we welcome you. Thanks again. We enjoy having you with us during this program. We have what Brent called another favorite of his last week. That's what we're talking about today. Speaking of Brent, he's right over there.
Good morning, bulb fans. We're happy to be with you this morning. Beautiful day here in Gloucester, Virginia.
It really is gorgeous, gorgeous. Today's topic is a special one, like you had mentioned last week. It's one of your favorites, and it's called Ipheion.
Ipheion.
Yeah.
Lovely little bulb.
Nicknames. Let's start there because some people might not know that term.
Well, starflower in the East, where it's predominant and it naturalizes quite freely, both by seeds, but also mostly by stolons. So you plant one and it reaches out
and it gets stolen.
Puts another stolon on the root. So that's a new bulb. And it's not a true bulb. It's a rhizome, I think. Anyhow, but it's a lovely one because it starts relatively early. They bloom at about 2 or 3 inches. They're great in yards where you don't use any pre-emergent herbicides because they have grass-like leaves that actually smell a bit like garlic.
Huh.
Yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah.
If you like garlic. But critters don't, which is really neat. So they're almost critter-proof. And they come in white and white star-shaped one, a white one with rounded petals. They come in pink and a variety of different shades of blue, from very pale to very dark, deep blue.
So these are small blooms, so they must have small rhizomes and pretty easy to plant?
They are very easy to plant. They don't have a top and a bottom. So you plant them like my little finger right on edge. Instead of up and down, you plant them right on edge. They're about as long as my little finger, not quite as big around. But they go only an inch or 2 deep. And you want about 10 of them per square foot to make it work well. But it's an incredible little bulb.
Now, as far as the location goes, where you're trying to choose where to put them, what's prime?
They're best in full sun. However, they'll probably tolerate a little shade, but they're just not going to produce as many blooms as they would if they're in full sun.
Okay. All right. So pest resistant.
Highly pest resistant.
Highly pest resistant. Not proof, though.
Not completely proof.
Yeah. Okay.
Like daffodils.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Highly critter resistant, adorable, easy to plant, and a pretty good value because you're going to get more.
You get a lot of them at a very reasonable price.
Oh, yeah. I just
They also are fun to pick the flowers for miniature flower arrangements, and they last a long time in a vase.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go over some of the varieties that we offer and some of their characteristics.
All righty. We have Ipheion uniflorium, which I guess the Latin word means all the similar, called Alberto Castello. And I think this little bulb is also from South America, from the Andes Mountains. So it's a montane plant, but from the southern hemisphere. But unlike the southern hemisphere, well, this one does bloom in our right spring season because it's been acclimated to. It's a lovely white with rounded perianth segments or petals, and the pollinators do enjoy it. So early pollinators looking for a snack of pollen and nectar do utilize this one.
And that really is a unique variety because of the rounded, because the others are more star-like.
And they're all more star-like.
Okay.
And the star-like ones are ones that you find in many southern yards. in the spring, and they last for about a month,
Mm.
a period of time. So, and they have grass-like leaves. So the leaves are like grass that they're in,
Mm-hmm.
and you cut them a little higher the first few times, about 2.5, 3 inches. You cut above the leaves, so the leaves get enough energy to recharge the batteries, the bulbs.
So these are great in your yard, planted in your yard, as long
Yes.
as you cut high.
And also in the front of a border, they're great in pots. So, anything short in pots are better than real tall things. So their fun is the outside edge of a pot.
Cool.
And and then there's a lovely Charlotte Bishop. Now I think she was a British gal. I'm not certain, but I think she probably found this clone. Because the Lord makes mutations. He probably took a blue one and turned it into a pink. But it's a lovely one. And then we have Jesse. I don't know who Jesse was, but Jesse is a little more petite. So the flower's a little bit smaller, but an intense, deep navy blue, maybe. I don't know. Anyhow.
Yeah.
And then we have got the lovely white star, and it's the most prolific of all in my garden. I have clumps that just expand, get bigger and better every year, but we do that too, right? Getting bigger and better every year.
I'm trying to work on the bigger part. I'm about done with that.
Oh, and the next one, Wisley Blue. Now, Wisley is a wonderful botanic garden in Great Britain for the Royal Horticultural Society. So it was first named there. And this one also very prolific, but very pale blue. And then that's it. But those 5 make a wonderful kaleidoscope of color in your garden.
Great companion bulb with other
They're
spring.
ideal shoes and socks
Mm-hmm.
for bigger plants in your garden.
I'm trying to picture other places like our gardens here. Do we have them in the rock garden? Well, they do well in a rock
wonderful
garden.
in the rock garden.
Okay.
Ideal spot for
I
them.
didn't know if it was going to be too warm the way the sun.
No, not really.
Okay.
They're doing really well there.
Good.
And they're not too many spots where they've really become a fixture in Becky's garden yet. In mine, there are clumps of them hither and yon, but I garden that way.
Sure.
I'm an orgy garden. I put different things in bed together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, speaking of your garden, by the way, before we move on, those Ipheion are on sale this week from the 13th until whatever the following Sunday is. So,
And they're so easy to plant. That small, narrow trowel, and I need to have one here in the office so I can demonstrate. Treat it like a dagger. They only go an inch or 2 deep. So just stab that into your turf, pull it to you, drop a little one in. Go about the same distance apart, 2 or 3 inches apart, stab, pull, drop, stab, pull, drop, stab, pull, drop. You can plant a whole herd in a short time.
and if you move away from you, when next time you stab and pull, you're closing the hole you just made.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So plant them away from you and you don't have to
work
worry
like
about
a charm.
Yeah, works like a charm.
Yeah.
So speaking of your garden though, it's getting cool now, and I've noticed that the dahlias in the catalog garden are loving life.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
They really are.
So what's going on in your garden right now, and what should people be working on as far as their fall garden cleaning or feeding, or what should be happening?
And cleaning up the garden is, for me right now, pulling out the crabgrass and then putting down a layer of aged wood chips. So the aged wood chips do not rob the soil of nitrogen, but they add a nice moisture absorbing barrier to the rain. Well, not barrier, but a sponge-like on top of the soil. So the moisture comes in slowly and it helps. And then they eventually break down into compost. So that's the major thing going on in my garden right now. Got another fun one in bloom called amarine.
Mm-hmm.
And the amarines are a hybrid between an amaryllis and a nerine, which is another type of amaryllis from South Africa.
Cool.
And they're not more than cool. They are fantastic because these flowers grow on about 2 or 3 foot stems. They start blooming far before the nerines do. They are hardy in our zone 7B, they were, and now in our zone 8A. But they're great cut flowers. I put one in a vase and it lasted in the vase for 3 weeks inside the house.
Wow.
Now, you know, the Dutch bulb trade loves things that are good cut flowers.
Sure.
Majority of the bulbs they grow for cut flowers and pot plants. But it's an amazing new one for us.
Wow, neat.
Yeah.
I've noticed some of the grasses that were up and around in the summertime are beginning to brown out.
Oh, but the others, like the Muhlenbergias, are beginning to flower.
Yeah, that's
and
where they
the
shine.
bright pink that looks like a pink cloud, or the white cloud. It's called white cloud. Pretty amazing right now. And the anemone japonica is in full bloom right now. That's a perennial that we sell as well.
Nice. All right. So work on your cleaning up portions of your garden right now. Get your bulbs planted as soon as they arrive, or as soon as you get them at your house. Typically around your first hard frost is probably the best time.
When your soil cools down to below 60 degrees is ideal. The bulbs root very quickly then and are not subject to, warm temperatures when there's too much moisture where they can catch a fungus.
All right. Well, Brent, thank you so much for coming in today to talk about Ipheion.
Well, it was fun. It's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I put hearts in the catalog on my favorites. And those are the ones that last longer in bloom, are more perennial, are the best of the best, I think.
Yeah. So Ipheions, not only are they great, they're on sale. So run to BrentandBecky'sBulbs.com and check out the Ipheions, IPH. Just start there and it'll take you right to them. And we appreciate you being here with us again today for another edition of Tête-à-Tête. We will talk to you next week. Have a great one. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for joining us today on Tête-à-Tête. You can subscribe to this program by finding us on your favorite podcast platform like iTunes, Spotify, and more. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just search for Brent and Becky's. Until next time, let's get out there and make the world more beautiful. We'll see you next time on Tête-à-Tête.